Hi. Sorry, I don't know why I whispered. I was watching a YouTube video from a Korean girlie that does makeup, and her videos are like an hour to 2 hours long, as in like nearly no editing. So I was like, why not try that? I think it will help. If you watch my videos, you guys know that my editing is almost like it's giving 2012 because there's just so many cut edits. It's because of my undiagnosed ADHD. And oh girl, I'm getting nervous. I say a lot. I skip a lot of work. I don't know. Anyway, so this is going to be very, very, very minimal editing this video. I wanted to just do a get ready with me for this eyeshadow palette that, girl, when I saw this shit, my pussy was on fire, bitch. And I was playing around with it off camera, and so I made it look. I was like, oh my god, this is it. I need to put my lenses in. Let me put my lenses. This will be the edit. Let me put my lenses in. Actually, since I'm kind of, my skin's a little bit dry right now because I was using that Riedel shot thing from VT number 300. So my skin's a little bit peely. So I'm gonna let the skin calm down with these toner pads that I got from, oh girl, oh, it's over there. Oh, here's another edit. This is from SOMISOME Calming Pad Carrot. And there's like 4, 5 different pads that they have, but this is the carrot one. And I think it's supposed to be a dupe of the Skin Food carrot pads. But the main thing with this is that it helps calm down the redness in your skin. So if you have a lot of redness in your skin and your skin gets very hot, that's the type of skin that really doesn't like to hold on to foundation. And it looks dry and patchy and it gets stuck in the pores. I take one pad, I split it in half, and I put in here just, you know, besides moisture, it helps calm the skin down and make it cool down a bit, and your makeup will sit much better. So while I'm letting that sit, I'm actually going to do my eyes first. I have a little bit of discoloration though, so I'm going to use my KALEIDOS eye primer. Then I put in this pen to make it easier to use. But I've said this before, but it has a little bit of like a peachiness to it. So if you have darkness on your eyes, this helps make your eyeshadows pop a little better, especially because the colors we're using, or I'm using today, are really pale and like lavendery. So I really need to make sure the background of that is blank. 23 Mystic Lavender Blurring. 23. Can you believe this? WAKEMAKE. I remember when WAKEMAKE was, what was it even known for back in the day? I think they were just known for like their lip products, but they only had like 1 or 2 that were slightly popular. Now WAKEMAKE is one of the top beauty brands up in Olive, so I think I started with like this shade actually. I'm just gonna lightly grace that all over the eye. Kind of like setting the eye primer basically. And since it's such a light color, it doesn't really matter where I put it. Just make sure it's all on there. This will also kind of help, again, even out the eyelid. And that has a little, it's like an ivory shade, but it almost has a very faint shift of purple in there. And then I'm going to use a mix of these 2 actual lavender shades. That on the lid here. It's like the main base color. The overall vibe of this makeup is going to be very like light and airy and like fairy she was a fairy. Fairy lavender vibes. So I don't want to go too dark on the eyeshadow. I want to keep everything light. So I guess this makeup would look really pretty on, obviously, you know, fair to light skin, but also if you have deeper skin, if you're cool toned. Because I do feel like pale, cool tone makeup can look really pretty on deeper skins if you're actually cool toned, as in you have like yellow to olive skin, yellow or olive undertones, and you do color correcting and you do highlighting. I'm going to take a little bit of, let's say this one. It's like this sort of like iridescent satin shade. I don't think there's going to be much. Yeah, that's very faint. It's fine though. Very, 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 very subtle. So instead, I'm actually going to use this shade here. Oh, yeah, it's much better. Much better. It's kind of giving early 2000s frosty eyeshadow. To be honest, I don't hate frosty eyeshadow. I actually like the look of it, but I think what made it look so dated for the early 2000s was it was just so pale. So I think to kind of update that, you'd want to add a little bit more shading around the lashes and do a really good job of doing your eyeliner, eyelashes. That way it doesn't look so pale. Because if you have deep set eyes like mine, and then you do a bunch of frosty eyeshadow, it can just make your eyes look super swollen. So you kind of want to add a little bit of shading to kind of ground your eye again, which is what I'm actually going to do right now. Let me take slightly, actually, no, I'm actually going to use this one right here. It's a little bit deeper than the colors that we were using just now, but it's not going to be too deep. Because again, I want to maintain this feeling of lightness with the eyes. Just here, close to the lashes, and a little bit right here on the inner corner. Because the eye is round, right? So we want to, it's kind of like, if you ever take an art class, like in high school or college, you always do that shading practice or exercise with like the sphere. The farther something is in the background, the more shadow it has, right? So that's basically what we're doing on the inner and outer corners. And then taking an even smaller brush, I'm actually going to kind of make that even slightly deeper. Slightly. I still want to make this feel light and fairy. She was a fairy vibe. So I'm going to take actually a shimmery shade right here, which, to be honest, I do think that this year, I've actually been seeing a few eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadow products popping up that have like this sort of satin, slightly shimmer finish to it, which is, I feel like, very J-beauty, right? I feel like if you look at a lot of Japanese eyeshadow palettes, a lot of them have shimmer. Meanwhile, in K-beauty, a lot of things are very matte. So this year, I do feel like you're gonna see a lot more, or we're gonna see a lot more shimmer in the world of K-beauty. I got this eyeshadow palette the other day from CLIO. It's literally just 3 little eyeshadows, which I think it's to be honest, when I first saw it, I thought it was a Japanese eyeshadow palette, but it was from CLIO. But they're all, it was like a pale white shade and like a 2 rosy shades that actually kind of look like this. And they all 3 of them have shimmer in them. So it's supposed to, the concept of that palette's supposed to be like, oh, just quick and easy, right? The type of eyeshadow you can just stick on with your finger. And the good thing about shadows like this, which I do think you can find a lot in America as well, is that the type of eyeshadow that you can kind of just swipe on with your finger. And because there's a satin, shiny finish to it, it kind of already has multiple dimension to it. So here, like in the center, it would be a highlight right when it gets the light. And then on the inner and outer corner, it has more shadow. God, I talk too down. This is the type of shit I cut out of my videos, y'all. I talk a lot. You know how the girls talk about yapping? I yap. Bitch, I yap. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. No, yeah. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take an eyeshadow primer. This is from JAVIN. JAVIN became well known in the beginning for their cushion. The cushion kind of went viral amongst the Korean girlies. And so they popped off with that. But now they have these eyeshadow primers and they have many, many colors. So they're supposed to basically be liquid eyeshadow, but they're marketed as like primers. But I have this shade called Pale Rose, and I never really use these because for me, I have very deep and quite oily eyelids, so I'm not really liquid eyeshadow girly. But I saw a makeup artist doing a YouTuber's makeup, and she used it as like a primer for the under eyes, for the aegyo side, and I was like, oh, I should try it that way. And I really like it. So I'm going to take it on a concealer brush. And because it's like this really pale, sort of, kind of rosy taupe shade, I think it would be a good color almost to correct some of the discoloration I have underneath my eyes here. So it will correct but also brighten at the same time. Because I have a lot of like purple under my eyes and redness. Oh my god, I was trying to point at my eggs. You okay? Like this? My little monitor thing is a little bit small, so sometimes it's hard to see. That's why I zoom in so close in my videos. Well, there's two reasons I zoom in. One is because, you know, I feel like if it's over here, I feel like I can't really see my face in the little monitor here, so I take it to 50, what was it, 50 millimeters? 50 whatever, like the lens focal length to 50, so I can see a little bit better. But also, you know, on TikTok, that trend a while ago where it was like, this is what I actually look like to people. And they'll use that filter, the zoom in lens filter. So it shows like the actual shape and size of their face of what people see when they look at them. And with 50 millimeters, that's basically what the human eye sees. Because if it's like too zoomed out, it kind of makes my head look a little bit bigger than it is. Obviously, this is going to make my head look bigger, but it looks more anatomy. Oh, girl, I don't fucking know. Anyway. And also because my room's so small, if I wanted to keep it at 50 millimeters, but have like a lot of myself in the frame, I would have to sit back really far. But girl, I'm not about to do that. But also it's mostly just about for you to be able to see the detail. I'm out here in 2025, allowing you to see every detail of my face. And I'm not using my phone to film this shit. So you can see every fucking pore on my face. I guess I'll mix these together. And use that on top of the eyeshadow primer just to like set it kind of. And because the eyeshadow primer makes this part a little bit sticky, the shadow sticks much better. And that's gonna look really pale and weird, but don't worry. I'm gonna add some shading to it a little bit, so. Yeah, that looks crazy, but give it a second. Huh. Actually, I'm gonna do eyeliner now. I saw a girl, that girl I mentioned earlier that does the really, really long videos. She actually took her gel pencil. I'm using the Extreme Gelpresso pencil liner from CLIO. And she actually just took it on a little sort of brush like this. And she straight up just did this. And then on the side of the pencil, that's where she wiped off the excess. I was like, that's genius. Because I do like this gel pencil, but it doesn't come to a sharp point anymore because I've been using it for a bit. And so I feel like this helps me get a more precise line. And I like this color from CLIO. This is actually number one. Usually the number one, if a brand has a sort of like eyeliner pencil, if there's multiple colors, the number one will usually just be black. But this one is black brown. Yeah, black brown. There's no actual black in this line. So it's really good for if you have softer features and you feel like black eyeliner is just too much for your face. Okay, in one side, as per usual, I drew a little bit wonky, but it's okay because you can always use concealer pencils to sort of correct. This one from Courcelles has been my life and savior when I do other people's eyeliner. I feel like for a lot of people, they learn to do their eyeliner very like raw dog in that shit, like straight up going with a pen, dark black liquid pen eyeliner and just draw it on. And I feel like you're really good at eyeliner if you learn to do it that way from the beginning. But I didn't get into eyeliner until much later in the game. And so I still make mistakes when doing eyeliner on myself or other people. So having the pencil is very useful. And even a lot of Korean makeup artists use it to correct their work. So I think it's a useful tool to have. And then to kind of blend out the line so it's not just a harsh line. Like a mix of these two shades in the palette here. And kind of help blend it into my eye. At the front and the back. Like that. Oh, God. I love it. I love it. Earlier, like I was telling you about how it looks super pale under here, just to ground and kind of like, I highlighted the egg cell, right? So now I have to contour it a little bit again. So I'm just going to take, again, we want to keep everything light and fresh. So I'm just going to use this to kind of like line my lash line on the bottom of the eye. It would be, if I went in with a much darker, like almost eyeliner shade to do this part, it would look more like Dewy in makeup. Which is a cute look too, but I've been seeing a lot in K-pop especially. They don't do too much harsh, unless they're doing like a Dewy inspired look. They keep the under eye quite light with just the Activator. Like this is as much as I'm gonna do. Any darker, it could end up looking like a dark circle, so. And I do want to add some shimmer to my Activator, so I'm going to use this one, the one I initially used on my upper lid. I think that would be cute since it's so subtle. I'll use it on my Activator. Just for a light bit of glow. Again, I don't want to make my under eyes look like white worms under here, so. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. If you know the brand Parnell, they have a makeup brand called LUMMIR? This one. This is their eye glitter. I'll put a little bit of that. Can you see that? Not too much, just for a light bit of sparkle under here. Okay, I think I can kind of finish the skin now. I'm just gonna wipe off. The good thing about doing your base after, because sometimes I get shimmer that falls on my cheek. Doing the eyes first, I can wipe comfortably here. It's crazy. I saw this cream from Daiso, the Lab by BLANC DOUX Clear Hyal Murguang Cream, the Clear Hyal Dewy Glow Cream. And there was a sticker on here that advertised it as like, oh, this is the cream that will give you the skin that takes makeup really well. So I bought it just to try it, see what it's giving. Because this could be, it's not a primer, it's a moisturizer. It's one of those creams that's really lightweight, but when you blend it in, it gives you that 쫀쫀한, like, gummy gummy skin. So this is perfect for before makeup. And this was what, like less than $5? I saw a video on TikTok the other day talking about how in the near future, Daiso might actually take over all of Young in terms of makeup sales and stuff. And honestly, girl, I feel it. I've said this a few times where I do really feel like Daiso, I talk about, especially when I have people coming over for me to do their makeup and give them makeup lessons for Balanced Beauty, everything I suggest to them is from Daiso, basically. Because one, great colors, and two, they're affordable, and three, they're great quality, which are all three things that are what brought me into K-beauty originally. Great packaging, great formulas. The formulas are better now, to be honest, but you know, for the time back in the day, really good formulas and quite affordable, at least for the makeup. Skincare was still a little bit, it could be on the pricey side, but overall, everything was just more affordable, I feel like. And yes, times are changing, things are getting more expensive, but all of Young shit is like really expensive now, I've noticed. So not everything. There's some really great price products in there still, but I don't know, my desire to go to Daiso all the time now just surpasses my desire to go to Olive Young these days. I'm adding another layer. So I can, and also what I was told from some people is that every major makeup brand is trying to get into Daiso now. So if you go to the Itaewon, Daiso especially, they expanded the beauty area so it looks like an Olive Young, right? Like it used to only take up a small little shelf, but now it takes up a whole section. So good on you, girl. Good on you. Very nice, very 쫀쫀해. This is what you want for before makeup. Let's start with, okay, so I bought this foundation because I want to try it. To see maybe, you know, maybe I can replace the makeup or the foundations that I use in my makeup kit. Because I saw a few makeup artists talking about this. It's the WAKEMAKE Water Velvet Cover Foundation. This is the shade 22 Neutral. And it's just, it's okay. It's very thin, right? So great if you don't like thick foundations, but if your skin has some kind of like dead skin or like flakiness to it, then it kind of makes it look more obvious. So if you have dry skin, I would totally avoid this foundation. But also it is kind of too light for me. So there's another reason I was kind of like, eh. Like the color itself is really pretty. It's just too light for me. Too light. So you can see it goes on super thin. But I think that's also why it can kind of make dead skin look a little bit more obvious because of that thin formulation. I feel like thicker, more moist foundations help cover those dead skin cells a little bit because it kind of like lays up over them and keeps them moisturized. But really thin foundations are great because they're thin, right? So it looks less like makeup, but you also run the risk of it making that dead skin look more obvious. So it's kind of like you got to make sure you have a certain type of skin to be able to handle this type of formula. Which I think today my skin condition is okay. So I got a bunch of brushes from this brand called Suede, which makes these By Meng brushes. By Meng, she's known for being Blackpink's makeup artist for many, many years. And also, they're Oksem brushes, Oki brushes from Oksem. Oksem is the makeup artist for Girls' Generation, especially Taeyeon. She did Taeyeon's makeup for the INVU music video. So, 뭐지? I've loved and used Oki's brushes for a long, long time, ever since they first dropped. But they sent me a bunch of, I commented on some random Jushika video, and Suede saw that comment. Like, oh, we would love to send you some brushes. And I've always wanted to try the By Meng brushes because before these dropped, she was teasing them a lot. What the fuck is my voice? She was teasing them a lot. And also a bunch of Korean makeup artists were using them, I guess, to test them. And I was like, bitch, when are these coming out? And I guess I lost track because I never saw them get actually released. But I guess they're released now, and they were like, oh, we'll send them to you. So, yay. But this foundation brush specifically is the one I really want to try, and I love it because it is quite wide. Because most traditional flat foundation brushes are almost like 3/4 this size, but this is quite wide because most of them will be like, I don't know, like this wide, which is fine. But I like the width of it. It makes it a lot faster to do my base makeup, and it's really thin. Look how thin that is. You see how skinty that is? You waste way less product because the really, really thick foundation brushes just eat up too much of the makeup. So this has been like my favorite thing for the past few days since I got it. Yeah, this foundation is really good if you prep your skin well. Look at that soft glow that you get. But definitely the type that will fight you if you have drier skin. Okay. Oh. Normally I do my base makeup, for these videos, I normally do my base makeup first. And throughout the video, my skin gets hot while I'm talking and being in front of these lights. So the skin tends to kind of go dry on me. So the fact that I'm able to do it, or not able to, the fact that I'm doing it afterwards, I think is helping it look much better. Who knows, it might dry up in a bit, but for now it looks pretty. Let me do some color correcting. DropBe. The corrector, the peach one. Thank you on my beard. Y'all, I'm so excited for... I should be doing around 10 hair laser removal sessions, and I've done 6. So I can really grow my beard. It's like, once it's gone, I won't have to do this shit anymore. Oh my god. I know there's some dudes that want to keep their beard, but for me, I don't think it looks good on me, and I don't think it suits my image. So, I'm just happy I'm getting rid of her. Also taking a little bit of the green one. Very thin layer, very thin, because I actually should have done this before the foundation, but it's okay. This is more of like a beige green and not a straight up green, so it should. And also I'm going to do highlighter after this anyway, so this will just help with, because right here specifically I can get so red. And so this will help counteract that. Also a little bit below the nose here. And here. It gets so red right here. To be honest, I don't have to do too much of this. If I was using a foundation that's my skin tone, because the color's lighter, it kind of makes like redness and like here, like discoloration look more obvious. Oh, also right here. This is so right here. On the side of the nose, right here. It can get so red there. And because I'm doing a lot more extra work on the skin because the eyes are so pale, and so you kind of need the rest of the skin to look very clear almost for that sort of Margan, sort of transparent look. If I do, I'm sorry, but my biggest pet peeve is when these people be doing like these really beautiful, soft, like ethereal looks, and then put a bunch of bronzer and like heavy contour. And I mean, it's your makeup, do whatever you want, but for me, the heavy bronzy look just doesn't look right with a soft, airy look, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm gonna use my Flower Nose. I keep calling these concealers, but I think they're actually like liquid highlighters is what they're called. But I'm mixing the pink one, this one, with the lighter skin tone one here. just to brighten the center of my face. And this will help the blush, because I'm using a really pale lavender blush later, and so this will help make it pop a little bit. Kind of like right here. Like that. And then also, I guess right here. It's only been 36 minutes. This is actually quite fast. Oh my God, you got... I feel like this is something I would talk about on the Double D podcast. But if you watch the podcast, you might have seen me talking about how I've been kind of getting into watching TikTok lives from a very specific person. And actually someone recently in one of those lives, because I actually ended up kind of befriending the person, the TikToker. Should I call him TikToker? Anyway, the guy on the TikTok live. And at one point we actually did the live together. Like, he invited me as a guest and we were talking, and someone in the chat was like, "Oh honey, this is gonna go on the podcast." And I was like, it sure fucking is. But oh my God, like, so I've been talking about how these Korean dudes be getting on the TikTok live, you know, speaking all English in their lives because everyone watching is a foreigner. But last night, there's just something that was really annoying to me about the fact that literally every other comment was just, "Do you speak Spanish? Do you speak Portuguese?" And like, look, girl, nothing against my Portuguese and Spanish-speaking girlies, but it's not like I can just be like, "Learn Korean, learn English." But it's like, I don't know, just watching it's like the TikToker ends up not really talking about anything besides just being like, "Hola, hola," the whole live. And I'm like, it makes me not want to watch the live. So I don't know. Voila, I just wanted to rant about that. Contour, a little bit of contour. I'm going to use the new liquid contour from Flower Nose. Just for a light bit, like a little nose contour on a brush like this. A flat brush. Oh, it smells like a freaking green apple Jolly Rancher. I love it. Some right here. Just for some depth. If I just do the sides, it makes my nose look a little bit long. So to kind of cut up my nose, I'm going to do a little button nose thing here. So it kind of breaks up because if I just leave it on the sides, right, the whole middle bit of my nose is just like highlighted, and that kind of makes my nose look long and therefore makes my face look long. So if I put a stripe of contour here, obviously got to blend it out, but if I do that, then it kind of helps like make the nose almost look like it's in two parts. So that helps sort of break down the length of the nose so it doesn't look so long, I guess. So kind of, I guess, a useful sort of tip and trick for if you have a longer nose. Especially the bottom part here to cut it off. Okay, I think that looks good. Should we go back to the eyes? Actually, let me do a little bit more concealing. I have my little concealer palette here, right, that has all my Malu Wilz concealers. And I have like this Sigma brush, the Precision Firm Blender. And it's a very small, synthetic, fluffy brush. And I've been liking to use this to kind of do any like pinpoint concealer or extra concealing. It's really fluffy. So you can kind of basically just fluff on the concealer. And I don't really have any blemishes right now. Like if I have something like this, you can use it to kind of just do this. Because of the shape of the brush, you kind of just tap it. It kind of conceals for you and it applies and blends at the same time. That's what I like in a brush, where you can apply and blend at the same time with it. I love that. Obsessed. Let's do a bit of egg. So I'm going to contour the eggs out a little bit. I'm going to use this eyeshadow from Hints. I saw a Korean makeup artist doing like wedding makeup on someone, and she used this, and apparently it's popular, but I didn't hear about it being popular. This specific shade from Hints, which is Build On. I've had this for so long, but I never use it often, but it looks really good as an Eggusal contour. So I'm gonna use this tiny little, I don't even know, it's like, I think this is an Eggusal brush. And just, the other day I got my makeup done by a makeup artist, and she actually contoured it quite a bit, my Eggusal, and I actually really liked it. Because normally I'm scared to, because I got Eggusal filler before, right? So I'm scared of making it look too obvious. But she kind of went ahead and just did it, and I was like, I kind of like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. She probably did a lot. She did a lot better job than I'm doing right now, but because this eye has more filler in this eye, because the doctor originally said that this eye underneath here has less fat than this eye, and so the under eye, the Eggusal looks a little bit different. And when I'm doing the Eggusal, they kind of just, I can't really do anything about it. I think maybe if I just take this one down more, but not too much, because I don't want it to look like a fucking like my eyes are swollen. Anyway, I like how it is right now. I think it looks cute. Let me fix up this eyeliner a little bit. It's looking a little wonky. As usual, my eyeliner's always fucking wonky. So I'm gonna have to get really close up to my mirror. So you won't see me for a second. Hold on. I like that. Okay, and then just to finish off the eyes, I do two things. We need to highlight this in the inner corner. I'm gonna use this shade, this like pale lavendery blue shade. Just put in the inner corner here. Oh, it might be hard to see in the camera here because I don't know, with the way my lighting is set up, sometimes in some angles, the inner corner highlight, it's hard to see, but I promise it's there. Oh, where is it? Mascara. Because everything is so light, I think we do need to add some mascara to kind of help balance out the sort of paleness of the eyeshadow. Oh. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, let's finish off this. Actually, let me do my eyebrows. Let me do my eyebrows. I'm gonna use a little bit of this powder from Flower Nose. Not the phone call. 누구야? I don't know who you are. I think it's spam. Girl, if I get a phone call, this is not good advice that I would be following, but if I get a phone call and it's a number I don't know, I don't pick it up. I don't pick it up, which is not good because there have been a few times where it was an important call that I needed to take, but I don't know, a lot of the calls just tend to be spam, I've noticed. So I'm just like, girl, what? Don't call me. Just some powder on the forehead too, because I don't want shine. I don't mind the glow on my face, but on the forehead, it can look very sweaty. Also, maybe some on the sides of my nose here and under my eye. Because I think with this sort of look that's gonna have, I'm gonna put a highlighter later that has a lot of glitter in it. So I think having the overall skin look soft and matte, and then having the shine and the shimmer on the lips, eyes, and cheeks kind of makes it look better, to be honest. If you have this kind of makeup with like a glowy skin, it can look too much. Lovely. Blush. Let's put on a little bit of blush. So I use this one from Flower Nose a lot. This is from the Swan Ballet collection. It's number 2, Romanticism. This looks so pretty on especially winters because it's that really, really pale rosy pink shade. And I've said a million times, if you're a winter, pale blush looks super pretty on you. Any super dark blushes can be a little bit distracting, to be honest. So I'm going to use this as a base, actually, because I'm going to use actually a purple cream blush on top of this, and that could look a little bit unblended if I just use that by itself. So I'm using this as like a base, so it's something to blend into. And usually, I think to use cream and then powder on top, but I saw this Chung Sun-woo makeup artist actually using a cream on top of a powder, and it looked really pretty. Because this putting the powder first helps the cream blush kind of like, it actually raises the amount of pigment a lot more and make it stand out a little bit more. So I'll use this first. It's like barely there, but to be honest, I think it looks cute with this overall makeup so far. And I'm keeping that mostly under the eyes here. Okay, and then for the cream blush, I actually tried this look with a blush that's sort of similar in tone to this one, but I feel like it kind of, even though the eyes are also cool toned, it was a cool tone pink, but I felt like it was sort of clashing a little bit. So although the blush I use is a very pale pink, I'm actually gonna use a lavender blush. And so I think the tone of this and the eyeshadow will look super cute together. And instead of a sponge, I'm gonna use a powder puff, which is what the makeup artists use. And as long as you're careful with, you know, carefully patting and blending it in, it looks really pretty. Yeah, that you have to be extra careful because the powder underneath really makes the blush pop a lot. Not a very everyday color you would think to wear, but I think that looks super cute. I like that. Let's do highlighter. Let's do highlighter. So if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I actually posted about this, and it's from this brand called Girls Crush. It's a Chinese brand, and I saw this from this girl I follow on TikTok, and she does Chinese beauty, and she was showing this how, and girl, it had my pussy up in a twist, because it literally, to be honest, it's not the most natural highlighter because there's a lot of glitter in it, but in the right lighting, it looks like straight up wet skin. So I'm gonna use a very, actually even smaller than this. I'm gonna use this one. Just very, oh my God. That's just straight up glitter. Because I want this in a very precise, do you see this orbital bone like right here? This is where I normally put highlighter, but I want it to be really concentrated. Oh my God. Oh. No more, no less. I know girlies in the West love to shove their highlight like all over here, but I think that kind of looks really weird in person. So basically, when you put skincare on and you turn your head in the light, the bit of skin that shines the most, that's kind of where I put it. Ooh. Gotta tap off that excess. It's kind of hard to see on this side, but you can definitely see her here. Ooh. Now, because it's so glittery though, I don't want to use that on my nose highlight. I'm going to actually use a Daiso highlighter, which has been very popular apparently, because apparently she's always sold out. I got lucky because I know the girlies that run this brand, because this is called Dear Thing. And it's another brand that has launched in Daiso, and the people that made this brand are the same people behind Milk Touch, who are also the same people behind my brand CLIO. And so I got this in PR, but there's a warm shade, which to be honest is more neutral. It's a very neutral champagne shade, but there's a cool tone pink one, which I'm going to use for my nose. And girl, to be honest, this highlighter, this level of quality of highlighter, I would normally find in like Sephora or something, to be honest. But the fact that you can get this shit in Daiso, girl. Oh my, look, oh. It gives you, in Korean we would call yuriar kwang, which is kind of like a pearl-like shine. It's not like this where it's like glitter, right? It's more of like this soft pearl-like shimmer, and that's what I want. That is what I want. So if you're in Korea, you happen to come across this, girl, get several. Get several. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah. Cover the lips a little bit with some foundation. Because my lips are just so red, and it's not going to make sense with the lip color, the lip combo that I have in mind if the redness in my lips is showing through. So I have to really cover that up. I told you guys I got my makeup done the other day. The girl that did my makeup is actually the same girl that made these products, HC. Love HC. I use this all the time when I do other people's makeup, but this is that gray lip tint called Daily. And she actually mixed it with the other shade, which I use a lot by itself, Lively, number 2. And I never thought to mix, she actually also used them on my cheeks. And I never thought to mix them, but I was like, you know what? Work. Okay. Mix hand in there. So now we have like a really soft, muted pink, which to be honest, this is like the pink that looks good on people like me, soft summers. So if you feel like the regular pink is too bright and too light for you, then this sort of mixture would be really nice. But for me, I'm using it as a base. And then I'm actually going to blend the edge of that with one of the eyeshadow colors in this palette I used earlier. Use this shade because I want the lips to almost look like just a soft haze of color. I don't want it to be like my lips are here, you know. So for me, I want to add volume more to the center. Sometimes I feel like I do overdraw the bottom lip though. It can make me look like I have pillow lips. So to fix that, what I do is take my concealer here. Like that. So it's not so voluminous here, because if both the upper and bottom lip are like the same size, it kind of looks like I got too much filler. And yeah, I did get lip filler a long time ago, but a lot of that is gone already. It looks pretty by itself, but what I wanted to do is use this. I'm so sad. So this is Inga, and this is their lip tint in Splash, which is a very popular shade. But you can see it's like a pink cement. Do you see this? Love that. But they renewed it, and they still have splash in there, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's more pink than gray, which it's fine. This one, I mean, it looks straight up like a cement color, but it does get a little bit deeper when it sits on your lips. But I hate it when they have to change these goddamn forms. Kind of like the freaking Romand. Their legendary juicy lip tints. The colors are still pretty close, but they're a lot stronger. So I'm just mourning the loss. But I think this, oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, I forgot to finish my eyebrows. I mean, I started them, but I didn't even finish them. The H girl that did my makeup, she actually trimmed my eyebrows for me, which I'm so thankful for, because I was going crazy trying to figure out how to even them out, because they grow differently, so they're very like uneven, but she literally did that shit in 2 minutes. So thank God for her. So I'm just using a bit of Skin Food brow powder just to make them look a little bit more defined, a little bit. If I do too much, it can easily look like not right with this soft sort of light makeup. And then that's just for the outer part, which I don't mind being a little bit more defined. But for the actual inner part, I'm going to use this sort of fluffy, it looks like a pointed pencil brush for eyeshadow. I'm going to use this right here at the front, just to get some color, because I am missing quite a number of hairs at the front. And then using a little bit of brow gel just to make the front hair grow up, or go up a little bit, sorry. I have to keep brushing through while it's drying so that it stays up. I know the girlies would like put brow gel in their hair and then flatten it, but I don't really like that look, because it just looks so like you threw water on your face, I guess. So I'm really just doing this for almost making the front of my brow look a little bit more voluminous, and like there's more hair. And I kind of like the look of like the slightly more wild eyebrows with this sort of look. I think I'll just finish this off by softening the edge here. I'm just using a little eyeshadow pencil and just tapping the edge. Oh my God. Oh. I wanted to also use this because I haven't used it in a while. My little star filter. There's not too much like chunky glitter in my makeup today, so it probably won't be. It'll probably just give this sort of like dreamy look to the video, but oh, that is crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Oh my God, girl, this is crazy. Like what the? I'll just keep that hairband on. Anyway, there's my final look. This is my sort of like she was a fairy sort of makeup look. Hope you enjoy the almost zero, basically no editing in this video. Want to keep it chill, want to keep it quiet, very BGM vibes, very background noise vibes. So all the products and shit will be down below. We'll see you around next video, and have a good day, night, morning, whatever, afternoon. Bye.